Whether you have one vacation rental, 100, or you're on the way in between, this video is gonna tell you exactly what you should do to hire housekeepers to better run your vacation rental business. My name's Sean Rocky, over 120 Airbnb properties and growing, and housekeeping is one of the most important aspects of this business. Don't you agree? In this video, I'm gonna make you a better short-term rental property manager person because I'm gonna help you save thousands and thousands of dollars on your housekeeping expense while also increasing your quality in this video. Let's jump in. Welcome back, YouTube world, short-term rental family. Now, this is really important. I think you all will agree because, fun fact, 80% of this industry, short-term rentals, is conducted by the housekeeping team or your turnover team. Wouldn't you agree that they show up if the guest hasn't checked out, they're the first to know. If the guest left an absolute mess through a party, they're the first to know. If guest broke something, they're the first to know. Making the place beautiful, right? Odor-free, marijuana smell, smoke-free, and making the place otherwise ready, fully stocked, fully repaired, all that stuff is facilitated, put into motion through the housekeeping team. If they do a great job, we'll get you instant 5-star reviews for cleanliness and a happy guest upon arrival because that is the first impression. Or a poor housekeeping team will put your guest in a bad mood and then all of a sudden everything's a problem because the place wasn't clean when they arrived. This is the importance of a housekeeping team. So in this video, again, let's talk about all the things housekeeping. And let's start with if you have one property. If you are getting started, how to start cleaning your space. Now, I do recommend that you shadow whoever you hire if you're absolutely brand new. You need to learn the ins and outs of cleaning a short-term rental property so that way, as you hire more people, as you grow this business, you know what you're talking about. You can effectively know if a housekeeper does their job or not before you hire them. That's super important. If you don't know what is good, if you don't know which cleaners are good or whatnot, you can do a couple things right now when you start your business. You're gonna first join local Facebook groups. For example, my group, the Hosts of Airbnb Automated, is international, over 40,000 hosts, but there's also one here in Dallas for Dallas hosts, there's a Houston hosts, there's a Philadelphia hosts, they're all over the place. Join local Facebook groups for hosts, and then ask for a referral for a great housekeeping company. This is a great way to find one that does their job. Now, if you can't seem to find a housekeeping referral, you can use services that exist for the short-term rental market. There's one called Turnify, there's Turnover B&B, even companies like Tidy, for example, are getting into the short-term rental space and really targeting turnovers. Click a link in the bio for one of those, take your pick, use them, and grow, starting with a third-party company. I don't recommend this long-term though. That's why you should only do this if you have 1 or 2 or 3 properties. And the reason why is you eventually want to have more control over your housekeeping team and the nuances. The truth here is your home is going to be different than anybody else's home. It's going to be more similar than different, but it's still going to be different. Now, taking care of a home properly, restocking supplies, knowing if things are broken or missing, that requires that your housekeeper has a relationship with your property. And when you use a third-party company like Tidy, Turnover B&B, Turnify, etc., you're not going to have one housekeeper. You're going to have a random housekeeper, and your housekeeper day to day might change. And this will lead to a lack of consistency or lack of systemization, so there is a risk there. But if you're hard up for a housekeeper, even a company my size, we might dip into a company like that if we're short-staffed one day. But I'll tell you what we're doing by the end of this video with 120 properties. So second, as you grow and you have 5, 10, 15 properties, you're going to start to be able to offer people more consistent work, like daily work. Because when you have 5 or 10 houses, you're more likely to have a housekeeping every day than you are not. And sometimes you'll even have 2, 3, or 5 housekeepings in a day. For example, Sundays are the craziest day of the housekeeping world for us in all 10 of our cities. We have over 120 properties, 10 cities, and we'll have 5x or 6x of our normal daily housekeeping load on a Sunday. So we need to plan for that. Now, once you have the ability to give people guaranteed work nearly every single day, you can start to negotiate down your prices with these third-party companies. You can tell a housekeeping company, hey, I want to use you this many hours a week, and the turnover cost is a little bit high. I will be taking bids with other housekeeping companies for a more in bulk deal. I want to give you first chance at this though, because obviously we already have a relationship, but I need to buy down my costs. Let's work on a bulk deal. They'll either say yes or they'll say no. You'll start to go shop around. You'll go find local cleaning companies, ones that may not exist in the short-term rental space yet. You just find them online, Facebook groups where people are like, hey, we'll clean your home. Call these very small housekeeping companies and tell them you have XYZ number of homes and you'd like them to start doing short-term rental cleanings for you and work out a bulk rate with them. and you'll train them on the differences between cleaning a normal home and the turnovers for your home specifically. What this is doing is this is starting to get you a proprietary relationship with your cleaners. Now, this isn't completely safe, but it's a start. What'll happen is these home cleaning persons that normally clean regular spaces, you'll teach them that a short-term rental is different. And cleaning a short-term rental will include, doing inventory control, checking to see if things are damaged, all of this stuff that you've learned from either shadowing professional housekeepers in the short-term rental space or from my course Cracking Superhost, where we train you how to train housekeepers. Either way, you'll know enough to train people who housekeep how to do turnovers instead. Now, the reason why this isn't perfectly safe is you are now letting them on to the fact that there's a whole industry different from the one that they've been working in. And it's consistent, and the customers are easy, and they don't have to go dig for once a month housekeepings. They're gonna do 2-3 a week housekeepings now. They're gonna want more of that business. And if you can't keep them completely busy, they will go find other hosts to clean for. And that's why you're not completely safe. So there's a little thing. You don't wanna be training your competition's housekeepers, right? And that's why this, in the middle, you don't wanna get stuck there. You really don't. And so that's why you wanna continue to grow your portfolio. That's why I encourage you, if you have 5 or 10 properties, you need to quickly get up to 40 or 50, because what you're going to do is you're gonna start training your housekeepers and keep them direct by doing this. Well, first, by doing this, you're gonna subscribe to this YouTube channel and stick around for more videos on this topic matter, but you're going to post a job ad, like seriously post a job ad. And I'm not jerking your chain, guys. You first need to start a Facebook business page. If you don't have a business page for your property portfolio, you're not thinking like a business owner, are you? You can't do marketing, direct bookings if you don't have a web presence. So first, make a web presence, and it doesn't have to be hard, just a free business page. You need to have like a profile photo and maybe post a couple pictures and maybe some inspirational quotes about hospitality. Go look up the book, The New Gold Standard by Ritz-Carlton, and read that book, and then pull a couple quotes about hospitality from that book and post that on your Facebook business page, something like that. Now, in that case, once you have a slightly legitimate looking Facebook business page, you can then post a Facebook job ad, and they are free. And you're gonna advertise that you're seeking a housekeeper for short-term rental turnovers, and you're gonna advertise by the hour. Now, by the hour can change city to city. I will tell you, and I get a lot of crap for this, but we've in large hired our housekeepers at $12 an hour. What a lot of people don't understand is we're hiring them from jobs that we're paying them $8 or $9 per hour. The people that we are hiring are working at Arby's. They're working at a grocery store. They're working at a car wash. They are janitors. They are people who don't do housekeepings. And this is the part that blows a lot of people's mind. Our housekeepers are not housekeepers until we make them housekeepers. And that's what we're doing with 120 doors. We know a lot about this industry. We know exactly how to clean. We have a training system, one that I teach in my Cracking Superhost course. We have a training system on how to clean a place from front to back. And we have a documentation set up and everything that matters to do inventory control, doing repairs and maintenance, and all of it. Once you have that in place, once you are a company with systems, you can post a job ad with no experience necessary for $12 to $15 per hour, some cities even $17 per hour. But in those cities where wages are $17 an hour, I can only imagine what you're paying for a third-party housekeeper. $300, $400, $450 per housekeeping on a home. That's insane. So this will drop your price from $300 per home to about $120 per home. That's saving you $180 per turnover once you're at scale. And this is extremely important for 2 reasons. You can be more adaptive to a market downturn, but training these people directly, because they've never been a housekeeper, they don't know about the industry. So they don't think that, oh, they can go clean for other people's houses now. No, they think that they're working for you, with you, only you. And you're gonna pay them by the hour and try to give them full-time work. Now you can teach them every best kept secret about how to make an Airbnb place beautiful without you worrying about training your competition. A lot of the housekeepers that work in my company, they've stayed with us for more than a year, 2 years, 3 years. And yes, we are taking somebody who was working for $10 an hour, giving them $12 to $14 per hour, and then the training that we give them, arguably they could go make $25 an hour somewhere else after we trained them. But that's the risk that we take. So we got them for 12 to 14 when they thought they were only worth 10. And then we get to keep them for a while. We treat them well, do all the sorts of things that a leader management company should, but we're buying down our housekeeping costs by training our housekeepers from scratch. Now, if you do this, you'll have to buy their supplies. You're not gonna force them to have their own vacuums, their own cleaning supplies. We have a cleaning caddy that we give them, and Haley actually did a video on our cleaning caddy. Go back and watch that video as well to learn more. But what you need to know to get to this point, you need to know how to write a good job ad, then conduct a good interview. You need to be able to hire somebody, give them confidence in you and your company, train them how to do housekeeping and how to do a turnover, and then you have to manage their effective work. for however long you keep them. That is what you want at scale. This is why my company survived COVID-19, and we are still here with over 100 properties, and a company like Stay Alfred did not. The company, the Guild here, that's in this building, they just did a bunch of layoffs. Another company called Dorsey out of Seattle is doing a ton of layoffs too. A lot of these companies that don't have good cost control are doing layoffs because they can't buy down their costs to stay competitive. And meanwhile, we're hiring people that were working for the Guild or working for Dorsey. That's our model now, is we have better cost structure, so we're more competitive, we can stay full for cheaper, and still stay profitable for cheaper, which means our doors get full while everybody else's is empty. And the core of this is buying down housekeeping costs. So this is where you want to get to eventually. But again, if you only have 1 property or 3 or 5, start with the resources available in this video, get into a local Facebook community for hosts, and then go nuts, have some fun. But make sure that you plan to grow to scale. If you only stop at 3 or 5 properties, the only way to have a cheaper housekeeping is for you to do it yourself. And if you're cool with that, cool. But if you want to build a business that you can actually take a vacation from and actually go travel the world and have some fun, then you're going to want to build to scale to buy down your costs at large. Thank you for watching this video. And as always, if you have questions, you can put them in the comments. We can talk down there. I'll see you on the other side.